Welcome to the Right to Reason podcast. I am your host, Robert Stanley. Today is a short episode. I speak to Helen Greene about a fundraiser occurring this Saturday for Recovering from Religion. I won't be charging the patrons today as this isn't our typical format, but Recovering from Religion is a great organization, and I was more than happy to talk to Helen about it.
It's the Right to Reason podcast.
This episode of the Right to Reason podcast is brought to you by our patrons and contributors like me. We have all recognized the value of the unrestrained marketplace of ideas and have decided to make a difference. You can make a difference too. Contribute at patreon.com/right and learn more about your right to reason at therighttoreason.com. Your activism is appreciated.
Helen Greene from Recovering from Religion, how are you?
Good, Robert. How you doing?
Fantastic. We've had some crazy weather in Texas, so everything, like all the streets were frozen over. It was nuts.
So it's a repeat from last year?
Yeah, pretty much. Except this time it wasn't the windmills that took us out, as Abbott claimed it was.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I mean, they did fail last year. I feel like it's kind of a mixed bag, because like the liberal side says, oh, it wasn't the windmills, and then the conservative side says it was all windmill, and really was just a mixture of everything.
Right.
And ultimately, just bad planning on the administration's side. Right.
And I think that's a lot of the problems that it's one extreme or the other.
Yeah.
It can't be like something in the middle and be messy and complicated, because that's how most things are. But,
exactly.
when we politicize things, it's either one or the other.
Exactly. No, I mean, I did exactly as predicted. I started making it about politics, and this is actually about a fundraiser coming up, isn't that right?
Yes. So for those of your listeners that are not familiar with Ethan Michael, he is your friendly neighborhood atheist on YouTube, and will be our second fundraiser that he's doing from us. So it will be February 19th, which is a Saturday, and that will be 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time. So, and he's going to have a whole bunch of different guests on, like Shannon Q, Seth Andrews, Vice Rhino, Kenneth Leonard. A bunch of people from the atheist community are going to come on and do little guest spots and stuff during the fundraiser. Like Dr. Del Rey is going to be on, and he's going to talk about recovering from religion and all the things that we do and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Del Rey, he is like the coolest guy in the world. He actually he helped me with my school one time.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I was taking this class. It was some kind of political science class, but I didn't read the syllabus. So, but it said in the syllabus at the very bottom, it said that part of the grade was throughout the time you were supposed to do some kind of like charity thing or just volunteering and just have somebody sign off on doing so. So I get to the end of the class and I take the test, and then she's like, all right, and, after the exam, it was like an online class, everyone submit your volunteer time. I was like, oh no, there's no way that I can pull off whatever this is. And I thought, well, I've done hours and hours cumulatively of talking to Daryl Ray about recovering from religion. Maybe, if she'll accept that would be awesome. So I contacted him. I asked him, he's like, this isn't anything dishonest that you're asking me to do. I'm like, no, I mean, she can reject it. What you're saying we did, the time we did the recording together, is what we did. It's not dishonest. I just don't know that she's going to accept, my instructor, that she's going to accept supporting an atheist organization.
A religious organization, right?
Yeah. But she was totally cool with it. So it all worked out, and he helped save that grade, because that would have been a complete failing class without him.
Oh, yeah.
Cool dude.
Yeah, he's a really wonderful person. I talk to him, if not daily, like a weekly basis, especially since I'm the spearheader of the promotion team for the fundraiser this year. So we do a lot of interactions and stuff like that, but he's like, well, you guys take the reins, but he's a good supportive person on the other side, and he kind of really likes the volunteers to do a lot of the work, not because he doesn't want to help out or being lazy. It's just because a lot of the projects we do are volunteer based, and he's like, oh, if that's what you want to do, if you can spearhead that, we'll make it a thing. So I think that's a really good thing about it too, is that he really encourages people to kind of take the reins on a lot of stuff, so we can build our skills and stuff like that on top of all the training that we get. So that's really one of the wonderful things about him.
Who was the lady that was organizing that court thing, that court 2020? I think it turned into court 2020 one or something like that. I can't remember her name. It wasn't Marlene Winnell. I mean, she was part of it, but she wasn't the organizer.
I'm not sure.
You know who I'm talking about. Janice Selby.
Oh, Janice. Yes,
Yeah.
I know Janice.
Yeah, just sweetheart. But she was saying that, she wasn't coming off in a negative way like, oh, I hate doing this. But she was saying that it takes a lot of work to spearhead something like what you're talking about. She would say that it's many, many hours, and this isn't like, it's not like a paid thing, like you're doing this on your own time. I could imagine that it's distracting, to say the least.
Yeah, it is. Like a lot of, like, I had to step down from one position at RFR just because I do a lot with RFR, but I also have a full-time job and a family and like life. I have life,
Yeah.
So, and I find myself taking on, more than I can chew and stuff like that. But because the thing is, though, is that you form like friendships and relationships with people at RFR. And then when someone's like, hey, do you want to help out with this? You're inclined to say yes, because you believe in what we're doing and you want to help out, other volunteers and stuff like that. So, and it does take a lot of time, and you're doing it because you're passionate about it and you care. Like, we don't get paid, like, I always joke that I make the big atheist money,
right?
So that's the kind of thing that, we just kind of accepted by being part of this organization. I think that comes from a lot of the volunteers, weren't cradle atheists. They came from a religious upbringing and stuff like that, or magical thinking. Mm-hmm. And we had people along the way that kind of helped us out, and I think that, we don't want to get so much into the philosophy, of religion. We want to get more to the human side, the emotional and psychological aspects of it, and help people out of bad beliefs and stuff like that, and be like a supportive ear and caring, rather than like trying to debate someone on rigidity of religion and stuff like that.
Exactly. Were you a believer yourself?
Yeah, I was. I grew up Catholic, and then I switched to paganism, but I've been out of any sort of religious thought for about 4 years now. Yeah.
I always hear that. Well, you can't reason somebody out of something they weren't reasoned into. And it's like, of course you can. I was. You were. Like it.
Yeah.
It's and who's reasoned into a faith? That doesn't even.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure that there's aspects of religion that we could say are good. The community and what have you, or if they're doing volunteer work, and none of these things are things that are obviously limited to religious organizations. So, secular organizations do them all the time, just like the one you represent. But there's some stuff I could say that, that's good. Or I would even go as far as this isn't a popular belief within the atheist community, but I think some people need it. Maybe not in like a perfect society. If we're like, future Star Trek time or whatever, maybe we wouldn't need it then. But in 2022, I don't know. There's some people out there that I don't know that they would do too well with secularism. I almost think of it, being an atheist is kind of a privilege, or at least a privileged position.
I think so too. And like, because I'm sure you've known people that when they have that paradigm shift, it's almost kind of traumatic for them. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And shedding all that stuff off, and like, and forming, new attachments, and how do you think about things then? Because it doesn't start with religion. Then you start questioning everything, like, what if I was wrong about this? What if I was wrong about this? It has that spiral effect, and rebuilding yourself after that, because you kind of have to find yourself again. And I think for some people, not having a belief wouldn't be a benefit. Like I use my mom, for example. She's 91. Mm-hmm. Am I going to try to reason her out of believing in God and Jesus at this point? No. Right. I'm not going to sit down and have a conversation with my mother, because she's been Catholic all her life. She has her belief system, and I'm not. And for me, even though I like who I've become, being an atheist and an activist, but I'm not here to like change your mind because like I want you to get over to the other side, unless you're willing to, come over to the other side and you want to kind of challenge yourself. Because I think in 2022, we need more people that care about other people, and we have to lift each other up. And if religion gives you the motivation to be a better person, I'm not going to be the type of person that take that away from you.
Exactly. But some people do need it, and some people really are hurt from religion and traumatized by it. Before I let you go, would you mind letting people know why they should go to recoveringfromreligion.org, which they can find that link in today's show notes, and what they would be supporting if they did decide to donate?
Oh, yeah. So what we do at Recovering from Religion, we do a lot of things, but the main thing we do, we help people who are dealing with doubt, they're thinking of leaving religion or changing religion, or they're just trying to deal with some kind of aspect of it, whether it be a fear of hell, if you're queer and you're in a religious system, what that means for you, dealing with family members that are religious and you're not. And you could be just starting this journey, or you can be 20 years on and you're still trying to work through some stuff. So we have an online chat, or you can call in, and one of our trained agents is available 24/7. And we have people in Australia. We have, we're starting a Spanish speaking side of RFR. We're trying to make this more global. Mm-hmm. So we have other projects coming up. But basically, if you call or chat in, you'll get a trained, sympathetic agent that's just going to help you work through the stuff. They don't judge, but you're not going to debate with them. They're just offering a sympathetic ear and giving resources. And if you need a little bit more than just talking through, like you have religious trauma syndrome or some PTSD, or, you're just dealing with even generalized anxiety, then we would refer you to the Secular Therapy Project and things like that. So we're always trying to get people's place, especially when it comes to doubt and non-belief and those sort of things, help them work through that so it's a little bit easier. And they come to us because they won't be judged. Also, so that's the main bulk. And then we have an online community through Slack where you connect with other people that might be like a Jehovah's Witness or Catholic or Jewish or Muslim, and there's an online community of people that have called and chat in, and they use that community to network, talk about specific struggles to that particular faith that they came from, or magical thinking, that sort of thing. So we offer a bunch of resources there. We also have our weekly RFR sections, which is a channel on YouTube where we have experts and people that have gone through religious deconversion, talk about what is life outside of religion, also mental health topics and things like that. This coming fall, we have a fall excursion, so the donations help pay for our excursion. I don't know where it is this year. It hasn't been revealed yet, but it's every September for a weekend, and volunteers, people that support our organization, former clients or current clients are welcome to come. And it's basically a weekend of hanging out and workshops and support and care for, people that have gone through this process or need a little bit more support, but it's more social and fun. So that helps.
Cool.
That's where all of our donations come from. You can donate now if you want to donate to the fundraiser that we're doing. The link is up on our website for you to donate. And if you turn to the stream, there'll be a bunch of, it's just not going to be on Recovering from Religion. There'll be other topics they're going to be talking about during the fundraiser stream. So, you can kind of tune in there and also help support Ethan because he's supporting us. And that's the gist. So please donate. 100% of the donations are going to go to Recovering from Religion, which is wonderful for Ethan because he doesn't have to do this. And the fact that he's supporting us makes us also want to support him. And we're very, very grateful.
So cool. February 19th, that's from 6 to 10 p.m. Central. I'm going to add a link for the live chat. You can go to the show notes, click on this YouTube link, and you'll be able to have discussions while you're watching the live stream. Is that correct? Am I saying that right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on, talking to us, and having a fun chat.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Robert. I really appreciate you having me on. And it's just really great to be part of this community of people that want to help out in their own way and stuff like that. So it's deeply appreciated. So thank you.
Helen Greene from Recovering from Religion. I really enjoyed it.
Same here.
Thank you to Helen. Thank you to Dave Blair at DaveBlairMusic.com. Thank you to Feedspot.com for promoting the Right to Reason to the Top 10 Atheist podcast. Thank you to our patrons, Rob Schreck, Larry Wilson, Michael Moore, Catherine Class, Freethinker 215, Phil Calderon, Brittany Catherman, Alan Marks, Philip Spawn, Bernard Lambarell. Hold on, put a pin in that. Bernard Lambarell, I just had a fantastic recording with him today, and that will air, I want to say, in 2 weeks. just phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. Look forward to that. Brilliant guy. Also, Enema Man, Seek Atheist, Hold Your Trager, and our top supporter, Rob Montgomery. You can support this broadcast at patreon.com/right and learn more at therighttoreason.com. I was supposed to talk to Tyler Vela this week, but this RFR thing came up, so next week I'll debate Tyler Vela on the topic of free will. Between now and then, fight for your right to reason.
This is the Right to Reason podcast.